at school when they had those school bullies. We all had them, didn't we? The ones that wandered around, thinking, of course, they were the kingpin, and they dictated and pushed people around and generally made people's lives sort of hell. And that was in a different time, wasn't it? You know, you could tell the teacher, but basically you were left to fend for yourself. I mean, our generation, you know what I'm saying, that was the deal. In this modern day 21st century society, of course, people do hit back. And some suggest now that the former royal known as Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, well, she's hit back by using, well, the well-trodden path of the worldwide media, basically proclaiming recently that she was the most bullied and trolled person in the world, particularly during her time within the British monarchy. Now, though, it looks like once again she's opened that ubiquitous can of worms, and the people really do want to hit back, particularly those that she left in her wake, allegedly traumatised. As ever, let me explain. Good to see you today, and as ever, thank you for taking the time out for joining me. I'm glad, lovely to have your company. And as ever, I can't thank you enough for pressing the like and share and comment, in the stuff below. As we all know, we're not all digital. I think you put some wonderful comments, by the way. Some lovely stories and eloquency, particularly on the history ones about what you did. I enjoyed your stories about the swinging 60s. Fabulous, isn't it? If you lived through it, they said, apparently, didn't they? You don't remember the 60s, but I've interviewed many stars from that era, and of course they did, and they loved it. But every generation has a soft spot for their own era, and I think that's the thing, isn't it? You see, if you were enjoying yourself in the 60s, by the time, say, the 80s came along, you were still into different things, but it was an enjoyable time. Yes, it might have been the Rockford Files, it might have been Charlie's Angels, stuff like that, but you enjoyed life. That's the whole thing, isn't it? We all have misty memories, as I call them. Suddenly you think, oh, it was better then. Not everything was it? Yes. Get back to your royal story of the day. Fascinating this, because Meghan Markle, once again, as I say, has opened a huge can of worms, basically claiming she was the victim, she was bullied, she was treated terribly. Of course, forgetting that, when you think about it, some suggest she bullied our late and beautiful monarch, Queen Elizabeth, by simply doing this on international television. That's right, the fake curtsy, while Harry looked on disapprovingly, but doing nothing to chastise his wife, literally demonising the 70-year reign on a wonderful monarch that was loved worldwide, something that only Meghan Markle could possibly dream of. But as we've told you before, things are going to get very tricky, because while our late monarch basically had that private investigation regarding those extensive bullying claims, which Meghan and Harry refute, of course, well, the staff are just getting sick to the back teeth of it, because they're now seeing their story being written out of history. And as detailed by various authors, including people like Valentine Lowe, etc., he's interviewed people that have got signed affidavits that are basically saying, it was a nightmare, traumatized, couldn't sleep, jumpy. And then, of course, we've recently had the Hollywood Reporter, again, bringing all that up and basically saying a demon boss, diva in high heels, dictator, all of that sort of stuff. How can all of these people be wrong? I would say, in defense of Meghan Markle, there's endless stories about her, absolutely, because she makes herself the story, not because she's being bullied. She wants the attention. She is addicted to it. And while this was allegedly a charity that was all about charity and Girls Inc. and everything like that, once again, she made it about herself. But now the staff are literally being very much encouraged, seeking legal recourse about breaking their NDAs. Many want to go on camera. It's a fascinating development, trust me. If this breaks, then, well, one might suggest it's already over for Meghan and Harry. But unless they can counteract and prove this, well, sadly, things look very, very tricky indeed. It's always dangerous to go public with your side of the story, particularly if there's another side that has yet been heard. And this is exactly what Meghan's done. But has she pushed it too far? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.